Hello, welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast episode number 366. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Book Insight Friday. You guys know what time it is. You know what it is. So we're continuing the Man's Plight series. We're up to a Man's Plight Part 3. Just for reference, if you are looking to, learn about how I wrote the book, why, when I went into character development, storyline, etc., please refer to podcast episode number 189. Podcast episode number 189. To make your life easier, you can go to my website, theaquariummindpodcast.com, click into episodes, click into a Man's Plight series. You will find all of the episodes that I've done in regards to the Man's Plight book series, and you will be able to click on that specific episode and listen to what went into writing the book, etc. To scroll on Spotify, Apple, or whatever platform you are listening to my podcast on, I don't think that would be too much fun. So I just want to make your life as easy as possible on learning about this book and what went into it. These podcasts are more focused on book readings and the synopsis of the book, etc. So this book specifically is about a fictional character named Bernard. He highlights A Man's Plight 3, where he learns that he is becoming a father. And while he's excited about having his first child, his manager at work isn't too happy about him taking paternity leave for weeks at a time. While maternity leave is discussed at great length, paternity leave isn't. The pressures of men to stay in the workplace after their significant other has a child is a growing concern, and that's here in the United States. I'm focusing on the US. I'm not focusing on other countries, because other countries are totally different in their stance with maternity leave and paternity leave, right? Now, statistically, the majority of big corporations don't offer paternity leave, and Bernard deals with the emotional toll of work, having his first child, taking time off, and the impact it has on him with his career. And this is the reality of so many men in today's world, and especially here in the West. Now, what happens with Bernard's story? That there's a lot of decisions to make, but in the end, it should always be about family and love, right? Here in the West, the whole structure of family and unit and things of that nature, that's not necessarily the case, at least based on what I'm seeing and what's going on. It's already a divide between men and women and relationships and dating and struggles and all that stuff that I see on social media, and it's not the greatest thing in the world, especially for me and what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing at age 41. But neither here nor there. Let's stick to the content at hand, right? All right, so A Man's Plight 3. Here are the chapters. There's fatherhood, am I ready, paternity leave, ostracized and criticized, stressed / mental fatigue, preparation and finances, our baby girl is here, career sacrifices and advancement, back to work, the decision, it's time, other men's stories, a grim outlook on paternity leave, and family over money and career. Now, as I have said in so many podcasts, episodes, a lot of my books aren't long and drawn out. It's not the point. For me, I get straight to the point. I start this story. I get you right into it. That's what I love about that's what I love about myself and how I'm writing a lot of my books. In the beginning of my journey, I kind of, lead you along the way. And then by like chapter 3 or 4, it's like, okay, now I'm kind of into it. Now it's, let's start this story. You already read the synopsis, so you want to get into it, especially with a book that's focused on social issues. And this is a concerning social issue. But because the focus is on the man and the father, it kind of gets swept under the rug, right? And because of the way society is built and structured, men are providers, right? Men are the ones who are supposed to be leading a household and, bringing in the finances to take care of the family, right? So there's that component in that aspect. So just need, you to keep that in mind. Now, let's read the first chapter with fatherhood. One of the biggest events that will happen in a man's life is becoming a father. We as men don't think about it as much as a woman thinks about motherhood. We're focused on being financially stable most of our lives. It's what's programmed into our minds from a very young age. My name is Bernard, and I've been married to my wife for 2 years. We were always aware of what bringing a new life into this world would mean. It wasn't until I met my wife where I started to take fatherhood seriously. I knew that I wanted to have a child one day, but it was in the back of my mind. It's always been told to men that we can have children anytime in our lives. I don't believe that, but it's what society continually tells us. Fatherhood was something that was always serious to me. My father was in and out of my life, and I knew that I didn't want to be like him. I didn't want to be like my uncles and cousins either, where they weren't there for their children. They provided for them financially and thought that would be enough for their ex-girlfriends and ex-wives. That made me realize that I not only wanted to be a great provider, but also a father and someone who is there for their children no matter what. I look forward to the day I love my child unconditionally and watch them grow, teach them all of the things I've learned and also learn from them daily. When I found out from my wife that she was pregnant, it was a heartfelt moment and we were so excited. There was a moment where I paused and realized I'm going to be a father, that I would watch my child grow inside of the woman I love with all of my heart. The process with making phone calls to tell our parents, telling them they were going to be grandparents and they had a little one coming their way. As a man, I was going to be the provider and protector. Now there's so much to prepare for, as there's no handbook to any of this. Men are thrust into some big decisions that they have to make for their families. So much goes through their minds and no one takes the time to think about it. We think about having children in our lives, but there's the big question for a lot of men. Are we ready? So that's the start of A Man's Plight Part 3. Just want to let you know this book is available on pretty much every platform. Barnes & Nobles, Apple, Kobo, Scribe, all of those great bookstore websites. Paperbacks are available on thebookpatch.com. You can go into the search engine, type in my name, Jamal Crothers, and you will find this book. I think will probably be one of the first of like 5 books that is there. So this book will be very easy to find based on the title. It goes, in alphabetical order, so it would be much easier to find this book very quickly. This book is a great focus on, the social issues that men face with paternity leave and trying to figure out and navigate that component in life. So I'm not going to continue talking too much, and sorry, I'm not going to read another chapter. I just want to kind of leave you questioning what else happens in the book. It's intensive. So I will leave the ebook link and the paperback link, for you to click on it, check it out, and take time to read a really great story. That's my podcast for today. I thank you for listening. As always, you guys know my podcasts are alternating weeks this year. I don't know if I'll be going back to every week next year. I'll see. See how the world turns, see how life goes. My website is theaquarianmindpodcast.com. I do have books in audio format. I will be working on recording audiobooks in the near future for listening purposes. I do have 5 that are available that I've done on my own, and then there's another 2 that are on Apple, which is A Woman's Worth Part 1, A Woman's Worth Part 2. Those are on Apple. My others are on payhip.com/Jamel Crothers. I'm done. I'm out of here. Have a good weekend. Be good and go accomplish your goals.